tree!
There's the man with the feather.
Is that on our list? Do we have to find the man with a feather?
What's going on, guys? What are you up to?
Do you want to ask him how he got the feather?
Why do you want to know if I got a feather in my hat or how I got the feather in my hat?
We were on a scavenger hunt.
On a scavenger hunt?
We're on a scavenger hunt.
You guys want to know how I got the feather in my hat? Alright, Caleb, back up, buddy. Back up.
Let's turn around so we can hear how we got his feather.
Oh, so you guys want to know how I got the feather in my hat?
Yes.
It's a long story. Do you guys have time?
We have to if we see it 1 minute. No.
You want the abbreviated 1 minute story? So you want me to tell it in an hour?
Yeah.
My hour-long story?
Yeah, do that.
Alright, well, this goes back 4 years ago. I won't tell you how old I was. Marine Corps. Humanitarian mission to the Congo. We had to, me and my Marine buddies, we were on a rescue mission. Actually, it wasn't a rescue mission. It was a rescue mission that we had to save food. So, maybe it's a rescue mission, maybe it's not. I'll let you decide. Our goal was we had to deliver aid to Somalia. Do you guys know where Somalia is?
No.
Do you know?
It's a place in Africa.
That's very true.
Wow.
Yep. And so we were in our chopper and we were flying over the Congo going into Somalia. If you know anything about Somalia, you know it's a very war-torn place. There's a lot of angry people that live in Somalia and the Congo in that area. And so we had our helicopter that was delivering food to the people in Somalia. Well, there's some really bad people that don't want food to get there because they're trying to control everybody. So we're flying along over the treetops, and out of nowhere the pilot yells, "RPG! RPG! Get down! Evasive maneuvers!" And we all grab the side of the chopper, we're holding on, and we hear as the RPG flies right by the window and nearly missed our helicopter. And then another one flew by and hit our chopper, and the pilot screaming, "Everybody out! Everybody out! We're hit! We're hit!" And we crashed down into the jungles of the Congo. Do you guys know what the Congo is? No. The Congo is a jungle area. Jungles and treetops. And we crashed right at the bottom of the Sahara Mountains. And the only way that we were going to get rescue was if we were able to get our satellite link radio up to the top of that mountain. Because from where we were at, our signal was getting blocked by the side of the mountain. So we had to start running to get to the top of the mountain so that they could get our signal. So me and my buddies, we lost all of our equipment. All we had was just our little fanny packs with our little Nutri-Grain bars and juice boxes, and that was all we had. So we started the long trek up the mountains, and all the while we've got the rebel forces that are back behind us that are trying to capture us because they wanted the food that we were taking into Somalia. So we're trekking up the mountain. It's a 2-day hike. We're about halfway up the mountain, and my buddies, we decided we're going to stop for the day. So I wander off by myself because I wasn't smart. I wandered off by myself because I had to use the bathroom. But one important lesson you can take from this story: you always travel with a buddy, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. It's a dangerous world out there. You always have a buddy with you whenever you travel. And so I went off by myself to use the bathroom. Went behind a tree, and I heard this growl. And I turned and looked over to this shoulder. I didn't see anything. Turned and looked over that shoulder, and there was a huge gorilla staring at me. And it growled again and bared its big, nasty, gnarly fangs. They looked like this. It was grotesque. Does anybody know what grotesque means?
No.
It means very ugly. It was very ugly. It was very grotesque. And it gnarled at me, and it swiped me, and it caught me right in the throat. You see the scar I've got right there? This claw caught me right there. Needless to say, I finished up very quickly and I ran for my life. And I'm screaming at my buddies to to help me, but they're too far away, they don't hear me. So I run off through the woods, and this gorilla, you know, is chomping on all 4 legs trying to catch me, like that. And I run, and I jump up on a vine, just as the gorilla dives right up underneath me. And I pull myself up onto the vine, and I get up in the tree, and the gorilla starts chasing me up the tree. He starts climbing up, and he's getting right about where I am. He pops his head up, and I kick him on the head, and he stumbles down, and he comes up again, and I kick him again, and he falls all the way down to the bottom. Well, the gorilla, if you know about gorillas, they don't mind waiting. They do not mind waiting. So he sat there for 2 days while I was up in the tree with nothing but a single juice box and a Nutri-Grain bar. That's all I had for 2 days. After 4 hours, I had eaten that Nutri-Grain bar and drank that juice box. And so, for another day and 20 hours, I had nothing but tree bark and little grub worms and little ants to eat. You ever had an ant before? Or a worm? A little grub?
No, no, no.
They're little, you know, they're a little gritty, but they're not that bad. You know, that was all I had to survive for another 2 days, was just eating little insects that were there. Because that's what you have to do when you're in the wilderness. When you want to live, you eat the bugs, and they keep you alive. So, luckily for me, my troop was out looking for me. And they found me there, and they scared off the gorilla, and they brought me down. And then they fed me, and it was good. And then we had to trek up the rest of the way to the mountain, and it took another 3 days to get to the top of the mountain. We got there, we signaled our chopper to come in and get us. And 4 hours later, the chopper came in to rescue us, but it also alerted the rebel forces in the area that that's where we were. So the rebel forces shoot up the mountainside to where we were because they had been tracking us the whole time. And just as the chopper reached over the crest, the rebel forces started unloading on us with gunfire, and we ducked behind the bushes, and one of the helicopter crew tossed down a rifle to me and said, "You cover them! I'll get the men on board!" So the men started shuffling on board. The rebel forces were shooting. Out of nowhere, the helicopter pilot yells, "RPG! RPG! Get down!" And I looked, and it was RPG, and it shoots right over the helicopter. It didn't hit it. Thank the Lord, it didn't hit it. All the men got on board, and they loaded up another RPG, and the pilot again yelled, "RPG! Everybody get down!" And he did an evasive maneuver, did this little whole number right here. Another RPG went by. And I yelled at him. Oh, there's a little ant right there. I yelled at him. I said, "Go, man! Save yourselves! It's cool! I'll cover you! You come back for me later!" And the helicopter started taking off, and I was like, "Well, crap! I didn't mean it!" So I took off running, and I dove out over the open, trying to grab onto the helicopter. And I reached out. As I did, an eagle flew out in front of me, between me and the helicopter. And I reached out to grab the helicopter, because it looked like an eagle. And I grabbed onto his butt, unintentionally, and I grabbed a single feather, and he squawked, and he flew away. And then with my other hand, I grabbed on to the edge of the chopper, and one of my buddies grabbed me and pulled me in. And this is the feather that I pulled from that bald eagle, right here. 4 years later, you're looking at the feather that came from the Sahara Mountains.
That wasn't an hour. That wasn't exact. It didn't seem like an hour.